Okay, so for our third video we're doing problem number 2, which is solving the following linear program example. When we're writing the constraints and objection function, graph the function and determine the maximum and minimum according to the given constraints. So our problem is Nuts Galore sells 2 spiced nut mixtures, grade A and grade B. Grade A requires 7 ounces of peanuts for every 8 ounces of almonds. Grade B requires 9 ounces of peanuts for every 8 ounces of almonds. There are 630 ounces of peanuts and 640 ounces of almonds available. Grade A makes Nuts Galore a profit of $1.70, and Grade B makes a profit of $2.40 per unit assembled. How many units of Grade A and Grade B nut mixtures should be made to maximize the company's profit, assuming that all units made can be sold? So first we need to write out our constraints. So
Here.
So we know for a fact that there cannot be less than 0 of grade A or grade B. And so A will represent number of units A.
You want me to write B in a different color so we don't get like
Yes.
confusing and stuff? Okay. B. Number of units B.
And then, so for our first constraints, we know that A cannot be smaller than 0. So A has to be greater than or equal to 0. And the same applies for B.
And those like are basically like X and Y, like if you really think about it and stuff. It's Christmas colors. Pretty.
Okay, and then we're going to make a small little chart that explains it.
Can I make the chart?
Yes.
Oops.
Alright, chart. So we're going to have peanuts. I'll just put P for peanuts. And A for almonds right here. And then grade A will be up here. And do we want to do red?
Oh yeah.
And then grade B would be right there. And then we're going to have our total cost, our total values over here. So our equation, did we talk about the equation? Yeah. Okay, our equation is 7x plus 9y is less than or equal to 630, and 8x plus 8y is less than or equal to 640.
Sorry. Okay. And the reason that we have those equations is because grade A requires 7 ounces of peanuts, which is peanuts right here, and grade B requires 9 ounces of peanuts, and then those will be less than, because there's a total of 630 ounces of peanuts altogether. And the same goes for almonds down here. Grade A requires 8 ounces of almonds, and grade B requires 8 ounces of almonds, and then their total is 640 ounces of almonds, and that's how we got those 2 equations. And so then we figured out by looking at our word problem, we figured out our
Profit.
objective function.
Objective function, yeah.
And so we figured out that, I'm going to write it down here actually. C equals $1.70. A plus 2.40 B, and that's how that goes.
Now you wanna
You want to graph your constraints.
so you wanna find your points first.
So we're gonna,
So
yeah.
put 0 in.
So we're gonna graph.
And then we just made the graph just for later. And so then we'll we'll write our objection function again, and then we will write some points. So then we will figure out our x and y intercepts for these two equations so that we can graph a line for them.
So we graph our line for the first one. Both of the x and y will be 0. So there'd just be a line here going across and a line here. And then you shade up because it's this way. Because it'd be, if you think about it, if you put the point in 1 in, it'd be greater than 0. And then our second one would be 70 and 90.
It'd be 90. One of your points would be 90, 0, and your other point would be 0, 70. And we got that because we plugged 0 in for our 9y and did 7x as less than or equal to 630, and you just solve that. So, and you plug 0 in for 7x, and then you do the same down here, and you plug 0 in for 8x, and plug 0 in for 8y.
And then our second would be 80, 0, and then 0, 80, and then you connect those points. And then you want to shade of where all the points come together and are shaded. And so they all shade down into this. So it'd be this area here is where you'd find your profit, and then you use the points 0, 0.
Okay, I'll write them.
Do you want to?
And then
80, 0.
graph them on there. And then this point here,
Yeah.
and this one right here, because we're using the two closest for both of the lines, and then it'd be 0, 70, correct?
Yeah, 0, 0, 0, 70, 80, 0, and
And then to
Or-
figure out our last, the intersecting point over here, which is somewhere around right here, we have to,
substitution.
yeah, we have to use substitution. So we'll take our two equations right here, and then we'll set it up. And then we can put them in. Okay, found it. And then we can put them into slope intercept. Or no, I mean, my bad. We
Emma.
will.
You plug them in for A and B. You plug it into you plug the points into the objection objective
Oh,
problem.
Yeah.
You don't need to do anything with it because
No,
we
but
already
need to
found.
find.
But we found the points. Yeah, but
We haven't found that last point, so that's to
Okay.
find that last point. We use that.
okay, never mind. Keep
okay.
going.
So
Scratch
to
that.
find that, we can make these into we could just use substitution. So what we did is we put the bottom equation, we subtracted 8x over, and we got 8y is greater than or less than or equal to negative 8x plus 640. And then we divided by the 8y because you have to have 8 be alone, or y be alone, I mean. And so then you'll get y is less than or equal to negative 1x plus 80. And then we will put y into this y up here, and it'll be 7x plus 9 times negative 1x plus 80, and then is less than or equal to 630. And you'll end up getting, once you do all your figurating stuff, 7x minus 9x plus 720 is less than 630. And then these are the same, like they both have x, so that'll become negative 2x plus 720 is less than or equal to 630. And then we will subtract the 720 over on both sides. That cancels, and then negative 2x is less than or equal to negative 90. And we'll divide by negative 2 divided by negative 2. So when you divide by a negative, the sign right here switches. And so we'll get x is, or y, or x actually, yes, is greater than or equal to 45. And so then we found x, so do you want to find y?
So your first part of that point is 45, and then to find y, you plug in the 45 into either one of those equations from over there. So let's do the top one. You do 7 times 45 plus 9y is less than or equal to 630. And so 7 times 45 is 315. And then plus 9y is less than or equal to 630. And so you want to subtract the 315 to each side. So then you get 315, and then you divide by 9 to each side. And then 315 divided by 9 is 35. So then you have y equals 35, and that's the second part of your point over here.
So
So then you found all your points,
sorry, just go ahead.
and then you want to plug all the points you found into your equation over here that determines your best profit. And so you plug all those points in.
So then we'll do 1.70 times 0 plus 2.40 times 0 and equals 0 is And then we'll do 1.70 times 80 plus 2.40 times 0 equals
192.
And then we'll do 1.70 times 0 plus 2.40 times 70 equals
168. I was mistaking that. That's 136.
okay. That one equals 136 actually. And then we'll do 1.70 times 45 plus 2.40 times 35, and then we'll end up getting
That's 160.5.
so then
You find your min and max. So this right here is your minimum because there's 0, and your max right here because that's your largest number.
so our final answer is
168 units.
So you have a maximum. So your final answer would be a maximum profit with 168, and that's from having 0 grade A and 70 from grade B. And that's
that is our
$168.
Oh.
Cause, yeah. And that is your final answer.
yep, right there, final answer.
And that is our conclusion to our number 2 on the video project.